Hello,
Hello, my friend.
how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm okay.
That's not normal for you. Are things okay?
Me? I'm over busy there. I'm moving condos, I'm packing, like I'm very overwhelmed.
That's a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I knew that wasn't normal for you. Okay. Did y'all decide to get your own version of Watermark, or are we going to do the test itself?
For me, I will be getting the watermark, but
Okay.
not now. Like maybe in end of August, beginning, so where I have time really to study and to focus. But
Yes. Okay.
whatever the majority wants, I'm okay to go with the flow.
Okay. Michelle, how are you doing? Welcome back.
Thank you so much. I'm doing all right.
Okay. Okay. That's better than it could be.
I just keep moving forward. So I'm hoping that things have settled down now and yeah, a lot of family stuff going on.
I understand that. I understand that. And Jesse, how are you doing?
Yeah, I just not feeling well since yesterday, but I still want to. Yeah, I just joined the the meeting since the because it's quite nice. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay. Oh, you joined the earlier meeting?
yeah, correct.
Oh, did you like that?
Yeah, it's because that's why I see. I like her linking, so I follow her. I see she
Mm-hmm.
always posts very cute
Isn't it
posts,
cute?
and then yeah,
Yeah,
that's why.
Shannon Fillmore did our presentation at the Tampa Bay tonight, and her
Yeah.
that meeting is immediately before this meeting. I literally go from that meeting to this meeting and then fall over. Um,
Okay.
so what I'd like to do, since several of you are going to get your watermark learning
Yeah.
on your own, why don't we do the drill the way we have been doing it so that we get the answers immediately and we can learn immediately? Is
Yep.
that okay with you?
I'm
Okay.
okay.
Yes.
So we're going to do all six knowledge areas. Let me see. Am I sharing? I am sharing. Okay.
Are you going to do the techniques also?
You know, if we choose techniques, and that's not a bad idea, we're going to get about half of the questions are going to be techniques, but that's a good idea because people typically don't spend enough time on techniques. Okay, so brainstorming would be the most suitable technique for uncovering requirements in which of the following situations. So the purpose, the way why it's asking it this way is one of these is going to have brainstorming listed as a purpose in combination, I'm sorry, as a technique in combination with the strengths of brainstorming. So determine an appropriate format for communication of business analysis information. Add details to a current process flow for work order transmittals through the warehouse. Identify dependencies between requirements for traceability purposes, or conduct a workshop with managers from similar functional units across dispersed locations in an attempt to find process improvement opportunities. So think about the benefits and strengths of brainstorming, and let's eliminate one of these answers.
I would eliminate B.
Okay? And which one do we feel like is the best answer?
Identify dependency
I think it's
between
C.
requirements. Yeah,
Okay, let's
because
test this answer.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You were
it's,
close. It's D.
Gosh darn it.
yeah.
I
So,
would have gone D. I would have actually thought B was the second best answer.
okay. So the reason that D is correct is brainstorming is an excellent way to foster creative thinking about a problem. The aim of brainstorming is to solve numerous new ideas and then derive from them themes for further analysis. In this situation, brainstorming would be the appropriate would be appropriate to uncover creative opportunities. Brainstorming uses the right side of your brain, so it makes you be more creative. So whenever you're working with people, it says across dispersed locations. I don't know what that has anything to do with it, but to find process improvement opportunities, it's a great way to get people to think outside the box. It's like, well, if you offer bonuses if they do something, or if you have a big stick if they don't do something, and then somebody else hears those ideas and connects something and they go on with a brand new idea. So a workshop is a great way to brainstorm, great opportunity to brainstorm.
Brainstorming is also good more generally for coming up with a lot of possibilities or alternatives.
Right. Okay, question number 2. There's going to be 3 questions based on this scenario. During a lecture, a professor was teaching his class the fundamentals of developing a balanced scorecard. After reviewing the 4 dimensions of the technique, he asked some questions of the class. So there's 4 dimensions in a balanced scorecard. He challenged the students to answer the following question. What dimension of a balanced scorecard would you focus on to ascertain how well the enterprise is operating and if their products meet customer needs? Is that the dimension called financial, learning and growth, business process, or customer?
Business process.
Enterprise, how well the enterprise is operating.
I was thinking learning and growth.
Why do you like that better?
Well, I like that because it talks about like the dimension that would focus how well the enterprise is operating and if their products meet customer needs. So I felt like they're learning, and then the growth, you'll see the growth that is happening, which would tell you that it's meeting or not meeting customer needs.
Okay. And who chose business process? Why do you like business process better, Katia?
Because you have the operating, like how your enterprise is operating, if it's meeting customer needs. So I see if your business process is like matching the requirement it has to satisfy the business need and with the operation of the business. So that's why I put it under the category of business.
Okay. I need a vote. How many people like C better?
Can I have my thought? Because initially I see they say the product meets customer needs. I think of customers. Then when I saw this enterprise is operating, so they have 2 keys. So I think the business process cover more, includes the product and then the customers.
Okay,
So I will vote for C. Yeah.
We're going to test C. And C is correct. Note that there's seeming crossover between this and customer dimension, like you just said. However, this dimension is internally focused and customer is externally focused. The next dimension. What dimension of the balanced scorecard would contain measures pertaining to the top line revenue growth and overall profitability for the current fiscal year?
Financial.
Well, yeah, financial, because it talks about revenue and profitability.
Financial.
That is correct. That is the correct one for that one. And the last dimension we're going to talk about, which dimension in the balanced scorecard would contain measures pertaining to whether or not the delivery of products and services meet customers' expectations over the last quarter?
Customer.
Yeah.
Customer.
Mhm.
You are all correct. Good job. The volume of work items to be completed sometimes exceeds the capacity to complete them. Which of the following techniques identifies an approach for addressing this situation? So we're looking for a technique, collaborative games, capacity planning, backlog management, requirement management. Which ones can we eliminate?
B and B.
Collaborative games.
Yep, A.
And Jesse, you said B.
B and D eliminate.
B and D eliminate. Well, that leaves backlog management. Is this the right
Yeah.
one?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're correct. This is the true definition of backlog management. Good job. As a BA who recently worked on an effort to improve one of the sales processes in her organization, Christine received a number of inquiries from the call center about issues with the automated daily sales by region reports. Although no new automation accompanied the change in process, she was asked to look into the issue. Christine's analysis showed that one of the sales associates was inputting incorrect information into the system. What should Christine do next? So she's done a solution analysis, right? Analyze the automated system to see if incorrect information can be edited out so it's not allowed to be entered into the system. Model the sales data to ensure that accurate data is being entered. Track the identified problem to be sure it's resolved. Conduct a requirements workshop to analyze the sales process. What can we eliminate?
Well, C, because she's already tracked the problem. She's already identified the problem.
But does she need to track the
Well,
resolution?
I
yeah,
thought C is the correct answer.
yeah. When you ask that question, then yes.
Okay, let's test C. And C is correct. Christine needs to determine why correct information is being entered. However, before analyzing the cause, Christine needs to track the problem, which is item tracking, and determine the best way to resolve it.
Yeah.
What type
You
of
would
question elicits
never get a
dialogue?
question
I'm
that
sorry,
bad on the test.
you would never get that question on the test?
Right.
Okay. What type of question elicits dialogue during the elicitation activities? Is it a structured question, unstructured question, closed question, or open-ended question? Let's eliminate one.
Closed.
Closed.
So what
And
is the correct answer?
unstructured.
D,
D,
open-ended.
open-ended.
Yeah.
Not s-
You are correct. Open-ended is the correct thing. I was teaching a BA bootcamp class today, and one of the students said that they asked my AI that I created to be the elicitation stakeholder, what do you think of the process? So, I mean, it's like everything, it could be anything from that. Open-ended questions invite the interviewee to engage in dialogue. We like open-ended questions, mostly. You're a BA looking for a business-friendly way to communicate to the stakeholders how their multiple of business rules and decision tables fit together. Which model do you choose? Is this a business model canvas, business rule analysis, business capability map, or concept model?
concept model.
I would say no.
Uh,
I'm between business capability and business model. I wouldn't say concept model because you have the business rules and decision tables.
mm-hmm.
How their business rule and decision table fit together. Which model I would.
Isn't concept model will
Is
connect
it?
both business rules and decision table together for a business friendly? I think the much
Okay.
easier is more
Okay.
presentable, right?
Let's test
Okay,
it.
let's try concept model.
And she's right.
Okay.
It's a concept model. How their business rules and decision tables fit together.
Okay. Good to know.
Omar has been researching a business problem for several days, trying to understand why it happened. What is Omar performing? So he's been researching a business problem. Is he doing defect analysis, impact analysis, decision analysis, or root cause analysis?
Root cause
Something is
analysis.
D,
Root
root
cause.
cause.
Yeah.
Yes, he is. He's trying to figure out why it happened. Root cause analysis is used to identify and evaluate the underlying causes of a problem. You're performing root cause analysis in order to identify performance improvements. Reactive analysis is used for identifying the root causes of an occurring problem for blank action. Proactive analysis is used for identifying potential problem areas for blank action. So are those two spaces filled up by these words? Short-term, long-term, long-term, short-term, preventative, corrective, corrective, preventative.
Eliminate A and B. There's no long term and short term. So left for preactive and corrective.
Yeah.
Yeah, so reactive should be corrective. Proactive should be prevention. Is it?
Yeah.
You are correct. Reactive analysis used for corrective action. We're fixing a problem. And then proactive analysis is used for preventative. We don't want a problem to happen. Good job. Julian, the BA, is working on a project to create a new subscription management system for Ordnance magazines. Team has developed data and navigation to handle the various entities and states in the diagram below. The application can accept new and trial subscriptions, process payments, and inactivate subscriptions. I want to copy this and drop it into your chat so you can open it yourself. And there should be another one, second one, copy. Okay, so first one. Okay, so we've got 4 states here. We've got pending subscription state. That means that customers that are in pending subscription state, they've registered and they requested new paid subscription, but are pending. Once a payment is approved and they will activate the subscription, then they're in active subscription status. Or they can register and request a trial subscription, 1, 3, or 6 issues. They're in trial subscription status or state. Then they convert and request full subscription. That moves them into the active subscription status or state. And then subscription lapses, or if there's inactive subscription, it moves them into inactive subscription. And if they're there for 3 years, then they archive the data. The next one, let's see how the best way to get to that one. Then, can somebody tell me what kind of diagram this is called?
ERD diagram, is it? The second one, is it you mentioned, or the first one?
Entity relationship diagram.
Yeah.
So you've got the first entity is called product type, and it's got a primary key of product type ID. It's also got product type description. This always throws me, guys. This is not my strength, so help me with the crow's foot notation. Does this mean that there is many subscriptions for one product type? So many on this side and one on this side.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One to
Yes.
many.
One to many.
Okay. So one to many. So
Yeah.
subscription, the primary key is subscription. The foreign keys are individual ID, product type, and then it's got a list here.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's many to one. So a subscription, you can have one individual can have many subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
You got your individual ID product key. Then you got a list of information here. And then payment. So one subscription can have many payments. So you make multiple payments to maintain your subscription. And you got your primary key, your foreign keys, etc. This circle here means it's optional. So they may or may not have a country code, a phone number, or a phone extension. That's all I can see on that one that we need to talk about. We will need to examine what's inside, but I'll let you read that yourself. Questions, there's 3 questions on this. Which state is Julian missing from the models in this situation? So that means one of these states, they needed one more state. Would it be a canceled subscription, which is valid state for any subscription? Rejected because the payment not being approved, suspended when a payment is not approved, or former subscription, which is implied by the diagram. Which one should be in this?
Rejection
I say
subscriptions.
B.
Yeah, there's no rejections. They're active and inactive and trial.
Yeah.
So is this something that needs to be added to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have the payment approved, active. So what if the payment is not approved?
You are
Yeah.
correct. The trigger payment approved implies that not all payments are accepted, plus the payment accepted attribute in the payment entity hints at this. How the entity changes the transitions from one state to another could determine by the steps of the process by business rules or information content. Next question in the same scenario. Well, this one. Here we go. Julian discovered that subscription management staff frequently changes addresses for customers who have two residences. To facilitate address changes, they would like to allow saving an alternative address for a subscription. How should Julian handle this? Add attributes to the individual entity to permit saving an alternative address. Add a separate address entity and tied to an individual in a one-to-many relationships. Reject the request since there's only one address allowed per prescription. Consult with the implementation SME such as a database analyst on how to handle this. What can we eliminate?
D, reject. We cannot
D.
reject.
And yeah, C and D.
Okay.
Left. A and D.
I would
And what's
say
the best
B.
answer?
B.
B.
Yeah.
All right, you're right. This will offer the most flexibility and most closely match the requirements of the subscription management staff. Next question. Overall, what major functionality would you say is missing from the requirements as they are modeled? Do we have the ability to renew an active subscription? Ability to capture email marketing permissions from subscribers? Validating credit card payments for subscriptions or suspending a subscription?
Definitely not B. And definitely not D. Suspending. 1 second, pending subscription. No, you have inactive, active.
Credit card payment for
Yeah,
subscriptions. Validating. There's no validating for the credit card.
renew. Yeah. I would say because you have a payment. Yes. I would say it's C. No?
Do I have
Yeah.
a second vote for C?
Yeah, I go for C.
C.
So the
Oh,
correct answer is
yeah.
validating credit card payments for subscriptions, and the reason is the payment approved trigger implies that this can be done. So if there's a trigger, there needs to be a state.
Mhm.
It changes states with triggers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's incorrect. I'm reading it backwards. This is incorrect. The correct answer is renewing an active subscription. So, whenever we were talking about our diagram here,
Mhm.
you can have multiple payments for a subscription. That would mean that you got to be able to activate it and reactivate it.
Mm.
So, active subscription, you got to be able to renew it so it doesn't expire.
Oh yeah, because you need to refer to diagrams.
Both of them. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the real world, I don't do it that way, but
Mm-mm.
that's what we're doing. The lead business analyst has assigned you to create a requirements model that would help the project team understand roles, responsibilities, and their relationships, not only within the organization, but to a solution. Which of the following is not a technique the BA could utilize to accomplish this task? So what task are they doing, guys?
Stakeholder approach, roles, response, and their
They want you to create a requirements model.
Okay.
What task is creating a requirements model?
Specify model.
Specifying model. Okay. So for specifying model, which one of these is not a technique that the BA could utilize? So 3 of these are, 1 is not. Stakeholder list maps and personas, roles and permissions matrix, organization modeling, or organization chart.
I would say it's D.
Yeah, D.
You are correct. Organization chart, all of these, stakeholder list maps and personas, roles and permissions matrix, and organization modeling are all things you could use to accomplish the tasks that would help the project team understand roles, responsibilities, and their relationships, not only within an organization but to a solution. Carmen is preparing a document that justifies why the organization should invest in a proposed solution. She discovers a significant technical constraint just before the executive team is about to make the go, no-go decision. Which of the following will be impacted by this discovery? Would the business strategy be impacted, the business case be impacted, the desired outcome be impacted, or the business need? What could we eliminate?
Business need, because
Already solution.
Okay, so what's the
I
best
think
answer?
I think the business need should not change. The business case, business
Case.
strategy, business
Yeah, I
case.
think, business case.
I got it.
Yeah.
The business case is used to assess constraints, assumptions, and risk and recommend a solution. She just got he, I don't know which, just got new information that would help identify which solution was best. Which technique would help Greg understand the relationship between stakeholders in order to categorize them? To categorize stakeholders, is that a survey and questionnaire, roles and permission matrix, interviews, or mind mapping? What can we eliminate?
Interviews, survey and questionnaire we can eliminate. It's to understand between mind mapping. It is mind mapping, I think. I would go mind mapping.
Okay. Jesse, Michelle, Jen, what do y'all?
Because it's understand the relationship.
I would agree.
Yeah, D,
C.
because B is more on the permissions.
Yeah.
Will that help us categorize them?
Yeah, mind mapping help.
Okay.
I
And you're right. Mind mapping is a technique that helps identify stakeholders as well as understand the relationships between them. I want to see what it says for roles and permissions.
roles and permissions.
The roles and permissions matrix is used to ensure coverage, identify roles, and discover missing roles. When it said categorize them, I was thinking that it was leaning that direction, but I am proud of y'all for getting the right answer.
I hate that answer is right, but do what the BABOK says.
Maria is using her organizational charts as primary tools for beginning organizational modeling to understand roles, responsibilities, and reporting structures that exist in her organization. Which of the following information would be most difficult to find on this tool? The line of reporting, roles and people, influencers, organizational units. So 3 are on it, 1 is not.
C.
Oh, C.
C.
Influencers.
Yeah.
Non-formal relationships are not displayed on a org chart. Informal lines of authority, influence, and communication not reflected on the formal organizational chart. A mobile telephone company wants to measure the level of client satisfaction. For reasons beyond their control, they are not able to carry out a survey of client satisfaction. Therefore, they decide to use a proportion of all contracts reviewed as an indicator. What is the company decided to use? Is that called tentative measures, target metrics, reports, or proxies?
Proxies. Proxy.
Tell me why you like proxies, Jesse.
Can I tell on why proxy? Yeah, I kind of like have such
Okay.
a practice. Yeah. Can I?
Okay. And Jen, you like reports better?
Well, I mean, because there's a report coming out about what contracts are being renewed. I don't actually know what a proxy is.
A proxy, the word proxy means I stand in for somebody else. For
Or
instance,
say substitution and alternative.
Oh, I see. Well, I guess it could be proxies then,
let's
because
try
they
proxies.
can't do a survey.
I think it's
proxies. They're an indirect way to arrive at the data being looked for.
sorry, what is proxies? I thought like proxies in IT.
There are proxies in IT, but the word proxy is a more global word. It's not specific to IT, and it basically means I'm standing in your place. Let me think of a good example.
Hang on. Let me look this up. 102831.
Well, like a proxy, you can use like in an approval chain. So let's say that, Thea's going to be out. And so she designates her approval to me as her proxy so that I can approve things on her
Okay.
behalf while she's out.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
usually a temporary thing.
Yeah.
On behalf, is it add on your, I mean, like a
Okay.
backup?
Thank you.
I was thinking sometimes in movies, they've got the movie star, and then they don't want the movie star to have to stand there for the 29 takes, so they'll have a stand-in or a proxy to stand there for those 29 takes until they get it right, and then they'll have the movie star come in.
All right, 102831 does mention the word proxy. That's really subtle. I mean, yeah, as Thea would tell you, you're responsible to know every word in the BABOK, including on the front page and the acknowledgments, but trying to remember something like that is bonkers.
You just learn it and set it aside, and whenever you need it, you put it back out.
Yeah.
That's why we're doing this, right? You're conducting a lessons learned session for the previous phase of a project so that the next phase can be even better. Brett is a developer who begins raising his voice and pointing fingers at the end users who change their minds all the time and don't give us a clue what they need. What would you say is the best way to handle this situation? This is an example of something the Babok talks about happening, and it says, in this case, the best way to handle it is. So if you read it, you got this. Tell Brett that finger pointing will not be tolerated in this meeting. Acknowledge Brett's frustration and assure him that the team would like to hear more details. Agree with Brett. After all, he is absolutely right. The end users did cause the team a ton of rework during the last phase of the project. Or ignore his comment, hoping he will calm down. After all, you don't want to add fuel to the fire. And Bob's laughing. Okay, so what can we eliminate?
Ignore his comment.
Yeah, the A also can eliminate because we cannot point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
B.
I
B
think
is
it's
the
B.
answer.
I would say
Yeah.
B, yeah. After all, he's absolutely, yeah.
You're right. In
Yeah.
addition, either refer him back to the meeting ground rules. Not all of us even make meeting ground rules anymore that speak to no finger pointing. Or if ground rules were not developed, take the opportunity to do so with the meeting participants. Although the BABOK doesn't address this directly, it's generally meeting facilitation best practice. The BABOK does say if participants try to assign blame, that honest discussion may not occur. You know, people shut down whenever you got people that are doing blame. People also shut down if you got management or, you know, respected authorities in the room. So you got to really,
Yeah.
I've had to kick too many people out of rooms. They're not talking because you're here. The leaders of a retail store employing approximately 100 floor personnel have been hearing more complaints from employees during the last 3 months about difficult coworkers, not enough vacation time, scheduling policies, etc. In addition, 3 valuable employees have given their notice during the last 2 months. Raja has been asked to evaluate employee satisfaction. The organization has no current performance measures in place. What is the biggest benefit of the chosen technique in the previous question would have been a survey. So what's the biggest benefit of a survey that would it provide? It would provide a quantitative baseline from which to measure improvement. It would allow Raja to ascertain if information elicited from focus groups was representative of all personnel. It's rapid and produces reliable results. It would provide a qualitative baseline from which to measure improvement. What can we eliminate, guys?
B.
We can
No?
eliminate B. Okay.
I think A. Eliminate A.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it is D.
I think it's D.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Close, but no
Oh,
cigar. And here's the
quantitative.
reason. This is qualitative. This is quantitative. Quantitative means it's numbers, and we want
yeah.
numbers. Qualitative doesn't give us a very good baseline. It's really hard to measure quality stuff.
Hmm.
Where
So
does
the
it say
question,
about the survey?
Yeah.
it was on the previous question that they didn't even give us. See where it says question 1 of 1? Well, they messed up and they didn't give a survey, and it's only because I've been through this 5 million times that I know it was a survey.
Okay. I was
Ha-
confused.
Approximately 100 floor personnel, which means they have it's like a big group of people they are taking. So I think that's why it's survey. Is it?
Right.
I have to justify the survey only you can know the tech.
It's
Okay,
hard to
sorry,
get.
from where the maybe I got confused. So from where you got the survey?
So this question used to be 2 questions based on the same scenario. And for some reason they dropped the first question. So the first question was Raj has to get information from all these people fast. What's the best method to do that? So that's a
Okay,
survey,
okay,
right?
okay. Okay,
And
I
now this is
okay.
the second question. It says, what's the best, what's the
Okay,
biggest benefit? Okay.
That
okay.
Now we know.
question is in case format. So it's one scenario, multiple questions. You definitely for all the faults the test might have or this question bank might have, the test would never leave you hanging like that. It'll make
Right.
sense.
Rob and Jackie are BAs representing 2 separate business units who will be collaborating on cross-functional projects in the near term, which means soon. To facilitate communication between the 2 teams, they have taken the initiative to negotiate and document common definitions for terms that will be used during the course of the project. What have Bob and Jackie taken the initiative to create? So negotiate and document common definitions for terms that will be used during the course of the project. Is that called a glossary, a communication model, a concept model, or a data dictionary? Let's eliminate.
You can eliminate
Not
B and
concept and
C.
communication. I
Okay.
think it's
I think
A.
it's A.
I think it's
yeah,
Glossary.
A.
Yeah.
You're correct.
Can
The
you check
glossary
the
defines.
data dictionary, please?
I will.
Thank you.
A
Just to
glossary
see the
defines
difference.
terms relevant to business domain. They're used to provide
Okay.
common understanding of a term that's used by stakeholders. A data dictionary is a companion document to a data model, and it describes elements within the model. They need to go together always. You don't do one without
Okay.
the other.
Okay.
Okay. 22. Which of the following is not a process implementation method? Statistical analysis and control, Six Sigma, Agile, or value stream mapping? Let's eliminate.
It's not a process improvement method.
Some of these are words that we don't use in the knowledge areas half as much. They're in the techniques and the perspectives, I think.
Six Sigma is a process improvement.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it
Mhm.
is.
Value stream
Value
mapping.
stream
mapping.
Value
mapping.
stream
Yeah,
is
also
Yeah,
agile.
I would say it's
I think it's
A.
I think
A.
I think so too.
No.
No.
C.
Why is
Agile
that
is
a
approach.
He tried to tell us.
Usually,
is not-
A is stated as statistical process control, but all those items come out of Lean and Six Sigma. Agile is how you approach the work. So I always break the stuff we do through a project into four parts. There's the process, which is the work our system's going to do, or our organization, right? That's the business operations. The engagement, which is the work we as in all our different roles do during the project. So the PM, the BAs, all those people, that's the engagement. The solution is the change we make to the process that makes something better, or the system we build from scratch, right? And then there's the environment in which we do all the work. That's all the organizational stuff. And Agile is kind of, it's halfway between the engagement, how we do our work, and the environment. So it's how the whole company operates, and it's a knowledge base.
Let's go on. Thank you, Bob. The business analyst is preparing questions for a survey to determine shoppers' level of satisfaction with various services provided by the store. What type of question would best suit this survey? Unstructured questions, closed-ended questions, structured interviews, or open-ended questions? Think about what they're trying to accomplish. And let's eliminate.
We can
A,
eliminate
eliminate.
unstructured
Mm-hmm.
and open-ended
And open-ended.
questions. We can eliminate, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what's the
Level of
best answer?
various services
it's-
by the store.
Well, based on before with the quantitative, I think it would be B.
Structured.
I think it's C.
Yeah, it is B. Closed-ended questions.
Oh.
Closed-ended questions because the analysis report requires numerical coefficients. I want to see what it says about, oh, that's interviews. I was thinking it was saying structured
Oh.
questions.
That's what I thought. I didn't capture the word interviews.
Whenever I was thinking it was structured questions, it's like, well, that's like a 1 to 5, right? You know,
Yeah.
but that's not what it says. It says interviews.
That's called a Likert scale.
That's a Likert scale. I was called a Likert one time, and it was like, what did you call me? It was funny. It was funnier after I figured out what he said. You have been asked to facilitate a brainstorming session to identify stakeholders' concerns. Which of the following is not one of the elements of brainstorming? Session, approach, wrap up, preparation.
B.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You're correct. It's a made-up answer. So you have your preparation, you have your session, and you have your wrap up.
Yeah.
And that's a wrap. Which technique is used to ensure that issues identified by solution and enterprise assessments are resolved? So, solution and enterprise assessments, is it risk analysis, problem tracking, item tracking, or issue tracking?
Item tracking.
And you are correct. Let's submit this puppy.
Should be quite good.
Strategy analysis, you got 3 out of 3. Rad, you got 2 out of 3. Solution evaluation, we had 1, we did not get it right. Techniques, out of 18, we got 16 right. That's actually very impressive because we haven't really been studying together techniques. Y'all did really well. Do you want to do the same thing next week?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whenever we choose techniques, it, as I said earlier, half of them will be techniques. Do you want to let's just
3/4 in this case?
in this case, yes, 3/4. Do you want to just do techniques or do you want to just do knowledge area?
I would say knowledge area,
Knowledge
but I would go
area.
with the majority.
Okay. All right. We'll do knowledge areas 3 through 8, 1 through 6, chapters 3 through 8 next week. And
Yeah.
thank y'all for studying. It shows you're doing a great job. I know you're not always studying, but I can see improvement.
Technically, we have up to 45 minutes left if you want to talk about anything or try this again as far as we get, or you can all bail.
What I'd like to do is ask you, are you having any challenges other than time to study? Are you having any challenges understanding something in the BABOK so I can address it? For instance, whenever I was studying for my test, I'd been teaching for a long time, but studying is a very different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And what I discovered is there is this one task in chapter 7, it made me crazy. I thought I was dumb. I read it 3 times, I could not figure it out, and I figured out how to figure it out. And so if you're hitting something like that, maybe we could talk about it. Do you have a certain area or a certain term that you're having challenges with? No? That's pretty good. I would like to encourage you that whenever you run across something that is, it's like, okay, I didn't get that one right, literally grab a post-it note and flag that, and, stick it out of the book so you can see what you need to study. And that way, whenever you look at the book, it's like, I need to study. You know exactly what you need to study instead of the whole chapter or the whole book. It makes it a whole lot easier to approach.
You guys may not be as good as Thea on all this stuff, but you're better than I am at some of it. That's impressive.
Well,
Maybe it's a low bar, but it's still good.
so your goal in passing the test is we're thinking that you need to make a 75 on each of the knowledge areas. So at least try to pass that, and then we can move forward. Okay? All right. I'm going to let you have some time back.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye.
Have a
all.
good
Thanks,
evening.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.